Live, we are live. Yes, we are live. Come on in, man. Welcome to the chat. Remember to guard your privacy, abide by community guidelines. Welcome to the chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by community guidelines. Who's going to be first in the chat? Fire it up right there. Who's going to be first in the chat? Number one in the chat. Come on in, man. Oh, come on in, relax and talk sports. Look at that, man. Relax and talk sports. Relax and talk sport. First in the chat, Miss Perfect Time, and number two, Ozzy Kazi. They coming in on Wednesday, man. They coming in with their Trump hands, man. Man, we showing up in Europe, man, with a royal regalia. You know what I'm saying? Trump right now. They said this the first time an American president has been received in the UK because it's King Charles now. He gonna go put a wreath on rest in peace, to the great Queen Elizabeth. But Trump right now on all we do is win Wednesday. I mean, come on. What you gonna do? How much winning can you do? It ain't enough horse and carriage. I mean, all the regalia, all the royalty, all the splendor. Melania, the first lady. Hey, Melania, how you feel today? I just want to say, Melania, how you feel? I know being a first lady has been difficult. You are one of the greatest first ladies, one of the most beautiful first ladies. We proud to have you as the first lady. We love you. And I know it's been hard being the first lady. But today, because, she not from America. She from over there. Today, Melania, how you feel today? Jumping out of that horse and carriage, getting greeted by the king, you know what I'm saying, as the first lady of the United States. Shout out to Melania Trump, the first lady. Man, come on, man. I know. As a husband, imagine, I know it feel good. I know as a double tap, hit the like button as you come in, man. Double tap, hit the like button, man. You know who it is, man. Double tap and hit the like. Yeah, Donald Trump gonna be the husband of the year, man. Donald Trump gonna be the husband of the year. Cause you gotta have these little wins, man. Baby, we going to go see the king. What? I said we going to go see the king. What? Daddy, we gonna go, yeah. We're going to take you to go see the king. Imagine being married and you lean over to your wife and you say to your wife, I'm going to take you to see the king. Yeah, the king want me to come see him, man. He going to host me and I'm going to bring you because you my wife. Remember all them years you didn't want to marry Mrs. Perfect Time. Mrs. Perfect Time. Remember all them dates. Remember all the cookies and crackers and pearls and diamonds. I give you diamonds and pearls. Remember all the gifts. Remember everything. Now, this is when it comes down to when your mama, your uncle, your auntie said, why'd you marry him? Why did you marry the orange man? Why did you marry the Trump man? Why? And now you get to call your mama and your auntie and say, guess what? I'm on my way to go see the king. Hey, my husband, Donald Trump, is taking me to go see the king. Where we going? We're going to go see the king. Mama, you turn on your TV because you can't go. See, Melania, call your cousin. Melania, call your cousin. Call your cousin and say, turn on the TV because you can't go. I'm going to be at the King Castle in the UK. Yeah, my husband, the president. Yeah, remember husband? The people, you said, why did I marry him? Yeah, he taking me to go see the king. Back at it like a crack addict, automatic like a fomatic, built from tragedy, made for static. It's your boy, Perfect Time Podcast, back with the blast, in and out with a dash, 2025 on glass. So we gonna get this done and be out with a blast, man. I've been saying that all year, man. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk, man. We have a suspect. I've been saying that all year, man, and it's been more and more true. It's been more and more true every day. Yeah, man, the president is in the UK. It's a lot to unpack. Today we're going to talk about Charlie Kirk. We're going to talk about Candace Owens, and we're going to talk about what Candace Owens uncovered And we're going to read the text messages because a lot of people may not have watched the Candace Owens live stream yesterday, even though it was 1 million views in 1 hour. Shout out to Candace Owens. As a content creator, I look up to her. I admire her. I aspire to reach so many heights like that. Shout out to YouTube. Shout out to the YouTube community. That just shows that it's possible. There's no barriers. There's no sex barriers. There's no gender barriers. There's no racial barriers. Candace Owens is a black woman, and she did 1 million views in 1 hour. So no excuses for no content creators. Create the content. Do the hard work, and the successes out there. Shout out to Candace Owens for doing the work, man. Shout out to Candace Owens. Double tap, hit the like button as you come in, man. Double tap, hit the like button as you come in, man. Double tap, hit the like button as you come in. Now, I started off, we're going to talk about Charlie Kirk and the suspect. We have a suspect. We're going to go over the details of the arrest and the suspect. But I started off with Trump because it's Trump news, giving Democrats the boo-hoo-hoo blues, giving Democrats the boo-hoo-hoo blues. Double tap, hit the like button right now. I see all my people coming in. Double tap and hit the like button right now. Who is that, John? Thank you, John. Double tap, hit the like button, subscribe, and join the channel, man. When you subscribe, you're going to get a plus sign. When you subscribe, you're going to get a plus sign. That plus sign is going to say join the channel so you can look like all of the members and the moderators with their lit up names and the lit up customized emojis, private email access, private moderator, live streams. Membership has its privileges. I'm going to say it again. Membership has its privileges. Donald Trump right now today. So when I'm having fun, right? But it's true. Melania had it difficult. Melania, number one first lady. We love you. And it's been difficult for her. So I wanted to give her props first this morning as we talk about Donald Trump going to be hosted by the UK, by the King Charles. Like, so much has transpired in our world. Do you guys realize in the past 5 years, I grew up my entire life with the Queen Elizabeth. This is the first time in modern times that we've had a king. King Charles is the first time that we've had a king in my entire life. I'm not a young person. So this is a first for a lot of reasons. And what we need to unpack and understand is that lately you haven't heard much about the trade and the tariffs, because the trade and the tariffs are working. You only hear about certain things when they deem it to be a political opportunity, a political tool. Shout out to Miss Burke Tommy for that super chat, man. Everybody in the chat, give up props to Miss Burke. Thank you, Mrs. Perfect Timing. Thank you, Mrs. Burke, best wife in the world, man. Give it up to Mrs. Shout out to the members and the moderators, man. Shout out to the members and the So the news report is Relax and Talk Sports. The news reports is that this is the first time that a president of the United States has been hosted like this. But I just want to bring us back, man, before we get into Charlie Kirk, because so much is going on. We're dealing with the death of Charlie Kirk. This is a lot to deal with. People are emotionally. Before Charlie Kirk's death, remember how much I talked about the trauma from the BLM? Now you hear podcasters. Now you hear conservative white podcasters and black, they saying, what's going on with America? The reaction is not American. Well, they're saying that Americans are traumatized. They said we went into BLM and then we went into quarantine and then we have this. So it's like they haven't had a chance to rest. Americans are dealing with a lot. And now everybody, I told you people watch us. Relax and Talk Sports. Didn't I tell you they watch us? Didn't I tell you? They are making the same summation. Hello? They are making the same summation that we have made here. And something like this, after everything we've been through with BLM protests, with Black Lives Matter, defund the police, and then live from Israel, 199 deposit. Thank you. Hey, Big Daddy Beer Gaming, thank you for that super chat. Big Daddy Beer Gaming, thank you for coming in. We have been through a lot in America. So now that this happens, right? This is a 31-year-old man with kids. It happens in front of his kids. It happens in Utah. This is jarring to the American public who hasn't got a chance. I have young children. I'm telling you, my 20-year-old, 25, 26, they were greatly affected by quarantine, by BLM protests, and they've never had a chance to catch back up. Psychologists have talked about the effects of these things. Now we got this assassination, and now we got to deal with it as a country. Look at how divisive it's been with the Donald Trump. My podcast exists for unity. We talk about the difference of opinion. We talk about the necessary need for Democrat and a Republican opinion, because we never wanted a monarchy. The framers never wanted a monarchy, right? But in this 2020-25, it's been extremely divisive, because there are people who don't want Trump to be president despite how many people voted for him. So it makes you wonder, who are the people actually in control? That's why Candace Owens has so many questions. The country have been so divided. The country have been so divided. Before Donald Trump was elected, the country was terrified. We had $10, I think $12 dozen eggs is what I saw at the highest. How much in the chat did you pay for eggs? During 2024 and the last administration, when the inflation skyrocketed, even though we had zero tariffs, how much is the most you pay for eggs? How much is the most you pay for eggs during the last administration when they had 0 to 2% tariffs? They scared you. This whole time, I've been fighting for Trump. I've been fighting for Trump, saying, hey, the MAGA dollar is strong. Don't be scared by the tariff. Don't accept billionaires passing on their tariff to you as a tax. I said the MAGA dollar is strong. I gave you examples, but the reason why I did that is because I understood the division. I had no idea that something like this would occur, but I knew that you deserve to have the honest truth to make your decisions, right? And I knew the power of the truth, and I knew the power of debate. Charlie Kirk knew the power of truth and the power of debate. You know who else knew the power of truth and the power of debate? The people who wanted to silence Charlie Kirk. Now think about this. Charlie Kirk was an excellent debater. He's brought facts and truth. Now, why would you want to silence Charlie Kirk? Because that's effectively what they did. They silenced conversation. I've been talking to you. Listen to me, you guys. We have had a discussion about a lack of democracy in American politics, when Americans have ceased to be democratic. And I have argued because they lack the understanding of what it means to be truly democratic. And I say you would be more upset at some of the actions if you understand true democracy. They stopped speech. Speech is the First Amendment. Charlie Kirk never hurt anybody. Why? And then they want you to be distracted by race and you not focus on what really is on the chopping block. What's on the chopping block is America. Speech, freedom of speech was the #1 amendment. All Charlie Kirk did was talk, debate on a high level, and give truth and facts and praise. Can I say that without getting in trouble? Give truth and facts and praise. I don't want to leave out that last part because I think that's very powerful when we have this discussion. Truth, facts, and praise. Not racism, but truth, facts, and praise. I'll let you intimate what that last bullet point means. I'm turning 30. My 20s are so weird because I'm growing up with everything happening. I'm tired of being villainized for believing in basic truth. Give him a thumbs up. Thank you. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and join the channel. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. And I want to say I love you and God bless you. And being 20 wasn't easy for any of us. Let me give you some solace. Being 20 and 30 was not easy for any of us. Some of us grew up in the 60s where you had assassinations of a president, JFK. Some of us grew up in the 80s where you had crack cocaine by the CIA. So being 20 in America is never easy. So I don't envy you, but I do send you my prayers and thoughts and blessings to all the 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds. Because I said to my wife, Imagine being 20 years old with this happening to you. For you, it's like you're Tupac. Like, do you know Tupac and Nipsey Hussle and how these deaths affected certain communities? Well, imagine being a young white man. Imagine being a young white man already struggling to start your family because you can't afford a house. Because the last administration spent so much money on immigrants and didn't focus on you. So you already 20-year-old, and because you're a white male, people expect you to be exceptional. People expect you to be rich and have a family and have a house. But it's very hard to have a house in 2025. Imagine struggling to find your way. And then someone who you look up to, who looks like you, gets murdered for having a conversation. It has to affect you. Nipsey Hussle affected us. Tupac affected us. So I know young white men are affected when they see someone who looks like them get murdered for just talking. You have to wonder. They have to wonder what's going on with me. Why do people want to hurt me? What's going on in America where I am the one that people are pointing their gun at? It doesn't feel good. We're not having a real talk. We're so divided, we can't love each other. We're so divided, we can't have love for one another and understanding. Because I'm Black, people might say, why you care how young white men might be affected by Charlie Kirk? Because I'm MAGA. I'm MAGA. I believe in make America great. Do you know it's only one America? Do you know it's only one America? It's America for everybody. So I care about all American kids. And these kids in Utah and kids like those kids in Utah have been affected. We need to have a conversation. It's like, remember Colorado? We need to have a conversation. These kids have been affected. Double tap, hit the like button. Yesterday, y'all played with me, didn't give me my 100 likes. I want 500 likes. I need more super chats, and I need you guys to like, share, and subscribe so we can have this conversation and we can start loving each other. We got to start healing. We have been so divided and so hurt. We got to start healing. Do you know how we do that? We don't wait. Do you understand? I've been saying this. We don't wait. We have to create the healing. Shout out. You know what I realized the other day? Everybody has their job. Candace Owens has her job. Yeah, my nose, I'm like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. My nose is so shiny. My nose was so shiny in yesterday's podcast. I looked at yesterday's podcast. I'm like, man, your nose, you need some powder. Candace Owens has her job. I have my job. Candace Owens personally knew Charlie Kirk. So she has a mission to make sure justice. I didn't know Charlie Kirk, but I love Charlie Kirk and I love the message and the movement. I've taken it to be my job to start the healing process. We all have a job. We all have a position. Candace Owens, thank you, Candace Owens, for making sure justice, because she has the resources, she has the money, she has the pulpit and the voice to make sure he gets justice. While Candace Owens is doing that, we're going to make sure that me and you and the young man that donated gets healing. You understand what I'm saying? I come from a biracial family. I live in the San Francisco, Northern California Bay Area, where you have blended families. J.D. Vance, the vice president, the person we look to be the next president in 2028, comes from a blended family. It's so 19th century that we can't have a conversation where we love each other despite the color of our skin. J.D. Vance, I'm in a blended family. Hello, America. This is not new anymore. It's 2025. J.D. Vance comes from a single parent home, comes from a poverty restricted home. J.D. Vance, single parent home, poverty, and he married a woman who's from a different racial background because he's a proud American. JD Vance is the best example of America. Anybody getting depressed today, man, I'm so happy JD Vance is hosting Charlie Kirk's show, and we get to know him intimately. Before 2028, I told you the campaign has started. Spencer said, I grew up very poor, and what you said is absolutely true and speaks to me very emotionally. In fact, I used to be an atheist, and Charlie Kirk helped me find Jesus. Thank you for your perspectives. Thank you for being here, brother. Thank you for being here, brother. He did that for a lot of people, but God forbid we focus on that aspect of his message. I believe that was the paramount aspect of Charlie Kirk's message. And I believe it's by design that they want to skew that and turn it into race. Charlie Kirk never gave a speech about race. He didn't show up to talk about race. Charlie Kirk had a mission statement for Turning Point. Charlie Kirk had a message. And paramountly is what that young man said. Do you know I've been talking about the Gavin Newsom interview? Ever since this happened, I said, people have been asking, hey, is Charlie Kirk that influential? Double tap, hit the like button. Double tap, hit the like button. See, this what happened yesterday. And what you guys don't understand is that the trolls will come in. We got to have the likes. You guys are enjoying the show. You got to double tap, hit the like button. You got to protect the stream, support the stream. Everybody right now, I know you don't know how to hit the like button. Double tap the screen, hit the cell phone as many times as you can. Don't stop tapping the cell phone. Up in the upper right-hand corner, there are 3 little dots. Those dots are called ellipses. Hey, you guys, I was watching Candace Owens, and they were talking about the text messages. And guess what Candace Owens' producer said? Candace Owens, producer, interrupted the show and said, on the text messages, they have 3 little dots called ellipses. I said, they've been watching me. They've been watching me, baby. Everybody in the chat, man. Old timers, new timers, perfect timers, man. They've been watching us, man. They've been watching us. They've been watching us. They've been watching us, man. He said, hey, Candace, you see those 3 dots? Those are called ellipses. I said, yeah, really? I said they are. They're called ellipses. Really? You watching my show, man. Double tap hit the like button, man. Double tap hit the like button, man. I have heard nobody, because I have a background in IT. I'm on the help desk. You would call me in the hospital. I work at healthcare IT. You call me nurse, doctor, medical assistant, and you having trouble with the computer. So I tell people how to accomplish a task over the phone. I'm not even with you. I might not even be in the same state. I could be at home. So I'm explaining to you because I'm eerily familiar with the way the screen is set up, because I actually build it. I know the DOS tree in the background. Part of me being an analyst is the way the screen looks. I built that in the background. So I am explaining to you over the phone via click on these 3 little dots in the top right-hand corner. They're called an ellipses. You understand what I'm saying? It's going to give you the ability to like the video. Double tap and hit the like. Double tap and hit the like. Double tap and hit the like, man. We need 100 likes on the double or we in trouble. We need 100 likes in the double or we in trouble. Trouble. Boo-hoo-hoo blues. Giving Democrats the boo-hoo-hoo blues. The chat going crazy. That's why I say you got to join the channel, man. If you want to be lit up in the chat, you can put in a super chat. I'll read your super chat. If your comment needs to be read by the host, go ahead and drop a super chat. I will read your comment. But I need to tell everybody in the chat right now, this the #1 show on YouTube. This the #1 chat. This the #1 conversation. This the #1 live stream in the morning. 11 a.m. every day, top of the mid-morning podcast. My name is Perfect Timing Podcast. You need to be a member. You need to be a subscriber. You got to hit the like button. You got to hit the subscribe, and you got to hit the join. So you can get lit up in the chat. You can get the special emojis and special access to live stream, member only StreamYard live streams in the Roadcaster studio. You want to be part of the live stream? You want to come on the panel? Join the channel. You want to come on the panel? Join the channel. You want to come on the panel? Join the channel. You want to come on the panel? Join the channel. Members only live streams in the Rollcaster studio. Whoa. Double tap, hit the like button. Double tap, hit the like button, man. Come on, man. I don't have enough likes. We taking the station identification break right now only because we don't have enough likes. I got more fire. Hot like fire. I got more fire, but we need more likes. We need more likes, man. I need 100 likes on a double or we in trouble. We got more fire, man. More fire. More fire. More fire. More fire. We got to read the texts and the tweets from Mrs. Candace Owens. Shout out to Mrs. Candace Owens. Thank you, Mrs. Candace Owens, for all the work you're doing to make sure that the truth get out there. Liking the energy so far. Thank you, Dizzy, for coming in. Some of us love the energy, man. Some of us don't, man. But I know positive will win. You know, I've been dealing with so much negative on the podcast. And I'm praying, and I know there's a blessing for the Kirk family. I know there's a blessing for MAGA. I know there's a blessing for the American people. You know what's so great about when you say there's a blessing for MAGA? My goal is that one day we understand what MAGA means, that it means America for everybody, greatness for everybody. How could we ever allow the last administration to destroy such a great phrase? Make America great again. You know what I'm saying? Yesterday we talked about DC, Chocolate City. We talked about DC. We talked about Chocolate City. I talked about Marion Barry being in power 32 years. Like how did the corruption get to this far? Why would we need the phrase MAGA? Well, why do you need the phrase MAGA? Because Marion Barry had been in office 32 years as a crackhead. The current mayor of DC has been in office over 10 years and unable to stop the single parent homes, stop the poverty, and stop the crime. I argue that the current mayor of DC, Chocolate City, is resting on the legacy of the crackhead Marion Barry, and we never knew this. We never knew why it was such a need for help in DC. DC has had the same black female leadership for over 10 years, a decade. It's unfair for us to say the things about Charlie Kirk and Donald Trump without giving up the truth analysis. See, you can demonize Charlie Kirk. You can demonize Donald Trump because no one tells you that the mayor of DC has been in power 10 years. Because they say it's black people. Well, you've had a black female mayor for 10 years. Before that, you had a black crackhead in power for 30 years. What happened? Why couldn't either one of these black people solve the crime and violence? And why did it escalate to the point where Big Balls had to stop a carjacking? And Big Ball, this is how brazen the crime had gotten in DC. We've never unpacked it. Big Ball, because we got to get to Charlie Kirk. Where is this level of violence? Big Balls tried to stop a carjacking of a young lady. And instead of the criminals running away, they beat Big Balls to death. Think about this. They did not stop committing the crime. They escalated the crime. Usually you would think if someone intervenes in the middle of a crime, criminals would run away because they want to get away with the crime. That's not what happened. Big Balls intervened in the carjacking of a young lady on her way home from work, and the criminals escalated it and beat big balls on top of the car. So now you have a carjacking, and then you have an attempted murder on top of the carjacking, and they want to know why. They want to know why. And then I have to be the bad guy and do the research and tell you that that black female mayor you've been seeing lying on Trump and Charlie Kirk has been there 10 years. So when Charlie Kirk said what he said about black female political leadership, Charlie Kirk wasn't lying. He was trying to tell you a truth about what Democrats have done to these cities. And don't listen when they say we need help because you've had a decade. It's different. The mayor of DC is in her third term. No one has been honest. Marion Barry had 4 terms. The current mayor of DC is in her 3rd term. I promise you she will get a 4th term, despite never being productive and effective. Answer this. How do you get 3 terms with the crime and escalation in DC? How did they elect her a 2nd term? It's 5 years. How did they then elect her a 3rd time with this level of violence? No one talked about that. Donald Trump is a racist. Donald Trump he wants to take over. Charlie Kirk is a racist. Charlie Kirk supports Trump, and Trump wants to take over your city. Trump wants to take over your city. And now I see black content creators upset saying that, oh, the crime is not only it. I don't hear no black content creators being honest about the corruption in the political arena. And when you have entrenched politics like in Chicago, why did Barack Obama come out of Chicago? Come on, can we have an honest talk this morning? Why did Barack Obama come out of Chicago? You know about the corrupt politics. Who knows about the corrupt Chicago PD? Who knows about how many times they've gotten indicted and convicted and cops have gotten fired in Chicago? The corrupt PD is upheld by corrupt black aldermen. The black politicians who Barack Obama, remember Jeremiah Wright? Barack Obama, remember, I am so in love with you. Barack Obama, you love him, right? Hope and change. Barack Obama came on the microphone in the DNC and started singing Al Green. You remember Barack Obama? Let me help you remember right now. I am so in love with you. Barack Obama came out of Chicago, Illinois. Corrupt, entrenched corruptions in politics. See, you only hear about the crime. We argued yesterday. See, if you're an audience member here, you understand you don't get black on black crime without corrupt politicians. How do you get crime, consistent black death in Chicago for 10 years? How do you get crime, consistent black death in DC for 10? You need corrupt Democratic politicians, and they are not telling the whole story of DC. They are not telling the whole story of Chicago. And this is how you get people upset at Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk has to be racist when he talks about Fannie Willis. Charlie Kirk said something about these individuals. Charlie Kirk has to be a bad guy when he calls out these truths. Why is Charlie Kirk gone? Because they not telling you the whole story, that they cause and they benefit from the crime. Charlie Kirk said it. Why do you have black gangs? When they shot Charlie Kirk, he was talking about black gangs. So many black content creators are like, oh yeah, he got shot, black gangs. Why don't you talk about how you need black corrupt police? Little Woody. Anybody in the chat think I'm lying? Anybody in the chat think I'm lying? Who knows who Little Woody is in YSL? Little Woody is a black gangbanger who was allowed to murder other black people. He's still free. The police worked with him while he murdered other black men. I'm not making this up. I wish I was lying about how the gangs and corruption of the politicians and police are connected, but I'm not lying. It's the truth. They knew little Woody was committing crimes. They knew little Woody was robbing and killing other black gangsters, and they kept allowing him to go out and kill as long as he killed for the Atlanta PD. Hello, is this thing on? Is this thing on? Hello. You don't get black gangs proliferating and killing for decades without the participation and complicit nature of the politics. Can we just be honest? We black, we live here, we know the truth. And when I say the mayor of DC had been there 11 years, I know there's a lot of black people who are disgusted. I know you are hearing me right now when I say little Woody was allowed to continue to murder and commit felonies endorsed by the Atlanta PD. How many little Woodies are there endorsed by Chicago PD, Detroit PD? How many? I say that the little Woody is how they do crime. This, what is he called? An informant? This is a style of policing. This is a style of policing in inner city democratic black neighborhoods. It encourages the high numbers of black death. If you are wondering why there's so much black on black crime and black death, look to your local police. Ask them how many informants do they have on the street right now committing felonies. It's not funny. I'm sorry. It's not funny. I'm sorry. It's not funny. Because I'm up here preaching, right? And people hear me and they say, he's full of it. He doesn't know what he's talking about. DC corruption, Chicago corruption. So I give an example of little Woody. You have the same thing in LA with the Crips and the Bloods and Big U working with the crash unit. Hello? You have the same thing in LA with the Crips and the Bloods and Big U working with the crash unit. Who is the crash unit? Well, you have gang banging police officers. You have gang members in the LAPD. Did you know that they had gang members in the LA and they have a problem with it? They have to get help. They say they need help. They've been trying to control it. Look it up right now. LAPD admits they have a problem with gang affiliated police officers because they have to hire, listen to the logic, they have to hire from within the Los Angeles area, and people are born into gangs. I'm not making this up. The corruption is deeper. So if you're mad at Trump and Charlie Kirk, and you think you're focused on race, you're focused on single parent home, and you say that there's more crime in a red city, you don't understand black crime. You don't understand the crime in DC. I'm sorry, you just don't understand, and you're not being honest to yourself. You do not understand what is going on in DC and Chicago. You want to be mad. You want to be mad. And that's why Charlie Kirk is not here anymore. And what did we call it? All of my moderators, what did we call it? Kamala Harris said, I should have told Joe Biden not to run, but I was hypnotized. Kamala Harris said, we were all hypnotized. So what did I say? What is the truth? You guys are hypnotized. It's not me saying it. It's Kamala Harris admitting that the Democrat, socialist, Marxist liberals are hypnotized. This is why you guys, they are acting this way. This is why they are ignoring the truths about Charlie Kirk. Hello. This is why they are ignoring the truths about Charlie Kirk, because they are under hypnosis. The scroll has hypnotized them, hypnotized minds. And they believe the soup. They are gobbling up the soup. And this is why they hate me. This is why my moderators pray for me and say, Perfect, be careful. Perfect, be careful. Because these people are hypnotized. And we don't want you to get hurt like Charlie Kirk got hurt for simply sharing the truth. Charlie Kirk was hurt. His family don't have a father for sharing the truth. What did I say? Y'all, I want y'all to say it in the chat. Truth, facts, and praise. Charlie Kirk gave debate, facts, truth, and praise. Truth, facts, and praise. His message was about truth, facts, and praise. And I believe truth and praise are of the same coin. When we say truth, it only resonates with me one way. Truth is the same coin. Are you hypnotized? James said, are you hypnotized? Well, unpack that, James. Unpack that, Jose. Jose got his thumbs down. Well, unpack it, man. Unpack it, man. Let me hear it. I promise I got the air conditioner on. So let's go to Candace Owens, because let's read about the suspect. Let's get into some facts. Let's get into some facts for the people. Let's get into some facts for the people. And you guys, pray for me if I get a little emotional, get a little choked up. It's not easy. It's not going to be easy reading these facts, but it's what we got to do. Oh my God. The dog. It's not easy reading these facts, but it's what we got to do. Because I believe in an informed public. So let's get these facts out here. I don't know how people go to work and people. How's my audio? Yesterday when I moved the phone, the audio tripped up. Okay, make sure my audio was good. All the moderators and latest news on Charlie Kirk as of September 17, 2025. Charlie Kirk, the 31-year-old founder of Turning Point USA, a prominent conservative activist closely aligned with former President Donald Trump, was fatally shot on, rest in peace, September 10th while speaking at an event at Utah Valley University, UVU. A lot of you may be the first time hearing where the location was because they wasn't letting it out. It happened at Utah Valley University, UVU, in Orem, Utah. The incident has sparked widespread outrage, political debate, and ongoing investigation. Let's go over a summary of events. Key events in the timeline. The event where Kirk was addressing a crowd of thousands when a single bullet struck him, fired from a rooftop approximately 200 yards away. People have speculated 130 yards. How far was the shot? Approximately 200 yards away. He was pronounced dead at the scene. I didn't know that. I thought he went to a hospital. He was pronounced dead at the scene. The event was part of a Turning Point USA campus outreach. When people say how and why was Charlie so influential, it's because of these campus outreaches. And him, Gavin Newsom said his 13-year-old son anticipated Charlie Kirk. Hey, Dad, when is Charlie Kirk coming? Charlie Kirk was a champion of young people. A lot of old people, especially old Black people, don't understand the influence Charlie Kirk had on young white America. Gavin Newsom is a governor, Democratic governor of California. His 13-year-old son looked up and admired Charlie Kirk. For anybody wondering, why is everybody mad? Is Charlie Kirk influential? Gavin Newsom, governor, Democratic governor of California, who had platformed Charlie Kirk, 13-year-old son, followed and admired Charlie Kirk. For people asking about his influence, because I don't think they understand, there's another conversation to have about the necessity of young white men having somebody like Charlie Kirk. Because what we see when young white men don't have a Charlie Kirk, they commit acts like that's another conversation. Even people who don't Charlie Kirk You should want young white men to have a positive, God-fearing role model because they haven't had that. They've been demonized. They've been demonized by toxic masculinity, Title IX. They have been left out of society. I argue they have been pushed out of society, which is why Charlie Kirk and Andrew Tate exist, to give them a voice of the outcasts. Let's keep going. The event was part of a Turning Point USA campus outreach. Witness described chaos when Kirk collapsed mid-sentence during the discussion. A multi-day search ensued, with authorities releasing surveillance footage showing the suspect fleeing the rooftop and entering a wooded area. We're going to show that video. On September 12th, a 22-year-old named Tyler Robinson, a Southern Utah resident and former straight-A student, was arrested after confessing to his father, who alerted police. Robinson evaded capture for 33 hours. So this is the first time that I had heard on Candace Owens that he's 22 years old. His name is Tyler Robinson, that he confessed to his father and that he turned himself in. How many people knew that? Tyler Robinson, 22 years old, but he has not yet confessed to authorities. The reports are he confessed to his father and he turned himself in. Okay. Charges filed on September 16th. Utah County Attorney Jeff Gray announced formal charges against Robinson, including aggravated murder, eligible for the death penalty, felony discharge of a firearm, obstruction of justice, and witness tampering. These are the charges for Tyler Robinson, 22-year-old suspect in the Charlie Kirk. This is the discussion that we're having this today. Lunchbox 911. Lunchbox 911 in the building. Lunchbox 1911. Let me say it right. Lunchbox 1911. You know I'm blind and old as a bat. I can't see. I missed that one, and I'm dyslexic. Lunchbox, you wasn't going to say nothing? Lunchbox, you going to let me look dyslexic? You ain't going to tell me that, yo, old man, you said it wrong. It's a one. Biggest day right there. It says 1911. I didn't see the one. Lunchbox, help me out, Lunchbox. Lunchbox, help Ike. You ain't trying to help Ike, Lunchbox. Close enough. That's my brother. Close enough. All right, let's keep going, man. I just had to shout you out. I love seeing my members in the chat, man. I love seeing my members. I love seeing the people subscribe, the moderators. I love seeing you guys in the chat. Thank you for supporting Lunchbox. I truly appreciate it. Thank you for being a member. Thank you to everybody who's joined the channel and supports the channel. And since we're taking a little break right now, can we say God bless Charlie Kirk? God bless his family. God bless the president. God bless America. God bless the chat. Let's get back. Let's get back. Let's get back. So where we were at, we were explaining to everybody some things that they might not have known. The suspect they have currently in custody is named Tyler Robinson, 22-year-old. A detail that I had just learned is that he had confessed to his father after evading police for 33 hours and that he turned himself in. Now, the charges, let's read the charges. On September 16th, Attorney General announced formal charges against Robinson. Now, check this out, including aggravated murder. That's the one that's eligible for the death penalty, felony discharge of a firearm, obstruction of justice, and witness tampering. I wonder what the witness tampering charge refers to, because there so far is only one person under arrest. Wow. What is the witness tampering charge? So you heard about the guy, the distraction guy so when Charlie Kirk was shot, there was an old guy, 71 years old, who stood up in the crowd, who started yelling, I did it, I did it. That guy now has been charged with obstruction of justice. So we need to find out more. I know Candace Owens is going live. She going to have more information. I'm going to bring it to you tomorrow. Right as soon as I get it, you're going to get it. Typically, we don't even go live on Thursday. Look for us tomorrow at 11 a.m. so we can give you more facts. Prosecutors cited Robinson's belief. Listen to this, y'all. Listen to this. Prosecutors cited Robinson's belief that Kirk spread too much hate as a motive. That's sad. That's sad. We've been talking about that all morning. That's just absolutely not true. What did I say? I said praise, truth, and facts. Write it in the chat. Praise, truth, and facts. Put it in the chat. Praise, truth, and facts. And the algorithm don't like when we talk about praise. I need 100 likes, y'all. Protect us. Protect us right now. Everybody watching. Right now, everybody watching. Double tap. Hit the like button. What's up, Wayne? So check this out. Prosecutors cited Robinson's belief that Kirk spread too much hate as a motive, classifying it as a politically motivated gray, emphasized controlling information to ensure a fair trial. Let's go into some background of Robinson. Robinson, and this is going to be illuminating. First time, Robinson, described as a quiet former student, left a note for his roommate, also known as a romantic partner who is transgender. He was dating his roommate who was transgender, who was transitioning from a man to a woman, stating, I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk and I'm going to take it. Post-shooting text to friends on Discord confessed, hey guys, I have bad news for you all. It was me at UVU yesterday. He instructed his roommate not to cooperate with investigators. Bullet casings reportedly bore Antifa, LGBTQ, and leftist messaging, suggesting online radicalization in recent years. No ties to organized groups like the radical left. I'm going to read that again. No ties to organized groups like the radical left networks have been confirmed by prosecutors despite claims from Trump allies. Weapon: a Mauser 30 caliber bullet action rifle was found wrapped in a towel nearby woods with a spent cartridge and 3 loaded rounds. It's being analyzed at a federal lab. Court appearance: Robinson appeared virtually on September 16th, facing potential execution by firing squad if convicted. Utah Governor Spencer Cox has pledged to seek the death penalty. Utah Governor Spencer Cox has pledged to seek the death penalty, and I guess they got a firing squad in Utah. Let's keep going. Family ties and tributes. Kirk's widow, Erica Kirk, delivered a tearful public address on September 13th, vowing, I will never let your legacy die. I will never let your legacy die. That's what we've been talking about. She plans to continue Turning Point USA events. Donald Trump Jr. called celebrations of the event poor. Trump ordered U.S. flags at half-staff and plans to attend the funeral next week, blaming the radical left and vowing to pursue enablers, including naming George Soros. So Donald Trump says he blames the radical left, including George Soros. Remember, we read the Turning Point message that said Donald Trump believed George Soros should be indicted for RICO for his involvement with BLM protests, because Donald Trump, as president, understands the negative effects on inner city police departments post BLM. It affected the mental psyche of American people, where it's almost impossible for police departments to recruit. They have increased salaries, they have increased benefits. But one of the major issues, again, we talked about the corruption and politics, but another thing we talked about here on this channel is the lack of police and the lack of desire of Americans who want to be police officers. In DC, they're down 1,000 post BLM. Defund and Police Reform Act. In Oakland, they're down police. In Chicago, they are down police. Shout out to Trump for calling out George Soros, for being bold enough to call out George Soros and pointing out the ill effects of BLM, Black Lives Matter protests. I always ask this question. Number one, BLM had a mission statement that did not include black men and black fathers. BLM said they didn't want black men and black fathers. And I always wondered, If BLM really cares about the Black community, then how is it that it affected the Black community so negatively? When I first heard the chant, defund the police, I said, that's not going to hurt white people. White people, I live in an all-white area. I talked to my friend about this last night. Shout out to Clutch. You know, white people get upset if they see police. If they pay $1 million for a house, they don't want to see police when they walk around. Defund the police. White people have private security. Let me give you an example of what I mean. Let me give you an example of what I mean by how defund the police disproportionately affected these inner city Black Democratic communities. During the LA fires, during the recent LA fires, they ran out of water. They ran out of water, fire engines. There was an interview on the famous political show Bill Maher. The future mayor, the guy who's going to be running for mayor of LA, Bill Maher interviewed him. He said his house did not burn down because he had a private fire company. Can you guys hear me? Bill Maher interviewed the next mayor of LA, a wealthy white man. During the LA fire, his house was in danger. It did not burn down because he owns a private fire department. He didn't call 911. Rich white people don't call 911. I don't know if you know that. I knew when I heard defund the police how it would affect Black communities. I said crime is going to go up. Crime is going to go up. Y'all don't get it? His house didn't. Bill Maher said, is that fair? Bill Maher said, is that fair that you were able to hire a private fire department to save your house and your neighbor's house is burnt down? And you want to be a politician and you guys didn't have enough water, but you had no one listened to defund the police. Black Lives Matter was supposed to care about the Black community, supposed to care about Black death. But even after BLM, you have the problem in DC. Even after BLM, you have the problem in Chicago. Let me keep going with the Charlie Kirk facts. Let's keep going. George Soros. Trump called to blame leftist radicals and vowing to pursue enablers, including naming George Soros. The FBI director, Kash Patel, faced congressional scrutiny over his claims of left-wing ideology. Kash Patel has been getting it lately. Kash Patel has been getting it. Candace Owens criticism. Candace Owens, a prominent conservative commentator and former employee at Turning Point, I didn't know, has been vocal in the wake of the Charlie Kirk assassination. Owens joined Turning Point in 2017, co-founding its Blexit initiative with Kirk to promote conservative values amongst Black Americans. They collaborated on events, podcasts, and campaigns, with Owens crediting Kirk as mentor. The partnership peaked around 2019, but began to fracture in 2023 over Owens' increasingly critical stance on Israel, particularly after y'all know what happened. Okay, Owens' initial reaction. Owens posted on X urging prayers for Kirk on the day of the shooting. Everyone, please stop what you're doing and pray for Charlie Kirk. I agree. Owens' criticism intensified on her September 15 podcast episode, They Are Lying About Charlie Kirk, where she alleged a cover-up of pressures on Charlie Kirk. She focused on text messages as evidence of foul play or let undue influence, though she stopped short of directly linking them to assassination. The alleged Hamptons intervention Owens claimed that weeks before the shooting, Kirk attended a private meeting in the Hamptons with Bill Ackman, a pro-Israel and Trump ally, and Seth Dillon. She described it as a tense intervention where Kirk was pressured to reaffirm his pro-Israel stance and distance himself from Tucker Carlson. Attendees reportedly included Josh Hammer, a conservative commentator. Owens said Kirk expressed frustration with leaders of Israel and was warned of consequences, including financial cuts to the Turning Point USA. Owens referenced texts she sent to Dillon about Ackman's public tweet on the meeting, claiming no response. She also alluded to private messages between Kirk and these figures showing threats and a significant amount of money offered or withheld, influencing Kirk, possibly $150 million tied to anti-Carlson campaign. $150 million. $150 million not to associate with Tucker Carlson. Owens said Kirk refused the funding, felt like blackmail, and shared correspondence with her about the pressures. So Candace Owens is claiming that Charlie Kirk told her about the $150 million blackmail, $150 million blackmail, and that he was feeling pressure. Does this change the story for anybody listening? Does this change the story on how you feel? Is it still about black people? Is it still about race? The Democrats want you to be distracted. The Democrats don't want you to listen to my show. They don't want you to know the facts. Charlie Kirk gave you facts, truth, and praise. You intimate what the praise part is about. This is the fact right here. $150 million is powerful. $150 million blackmail, and then he told somebody. Charlie Kirk not only was facing powerful entities, he was offered $150 million blackmail, but then he turned it down, and then he shared. I think he was trying to protect himself. I think he was trying to cover his bases and make sure nothing happened to him by telling other people, hey, this just happened to me. They tried to blackmail me with $150 million. I need to tell my friends, so in case anything happens to me, you guys know what I was going through. Owens said Kirk refused the funding that felt like a blackmail and shared correspondence with her about the pressures. On X, Owens posted September 13th, Kirk was fighting with some very powerful billionaires. The pressure on him was immense over the last 2 weeks. The truth will be revealed. The messages will be leaked. She reiterated on September 16th, pressure, intimidation, financial threat, stop lying, quoting Tucker Carlson's claim that they tormented Charlie Kirk until the day he died. They kept calling him. They tormented him until Charlie Kirk, stop talking about Tucker Carlson. Charlie Kirk, stop talking about this. Charlie Kirk. Every day, powerful billionaires were pressuring Charlie Kirk. And I'm sorry, all you black Democrats, it wasn't about you. Ha ha. It wasn't about you. Nothing that happened to Charlie Kirk in the last weeks of his life had anything to do with you black liberal Democrats. Ha ha. It's so much ego on that left. It's so much ego. They won't even let us mourn. They won't let us get to the truth. It's so much ego. We can't mourn Charlie Kirk. We can't discuss the facts. You jump in front of the bullet. You want it to be about blacks. They shut down HBCUs. Why? You ain't going to school? They shut down Spelman. They shut down Tusk. They shut down black. If it's all black people, ain't nobody around gonna do nothing to you. Why are we shutting down black HBCUs? A lot of people may be wondering, why am I reading these facts today? I believe truth is freeing. If you read these facts, why should you be scared? If you read these facts, why would you shut down the HBCU? Unless it's political theater, unless you have an agenda. You think the Democrats might have an agenda? Do you think the Democrats might use black liberals in their agenda? Nah, the Democrats wouldn't do that, right? The Democrats wouldn't do that, right? The Democrats wouldn't use black people. You're not black if you don't vote for me. I said the Democrats wouldn't use black people. You're not black if you don't vote for me. I said the Democrats would never use black people. No. The Democrats love you, black people. Your mama black. Did you forget Kamala? Did you forget Obama? Did you forget your mama? Okay, Discord messages. Owens criticized federal handling of Robinson Discord texts. You know, Discord, Discord, and what's the other one Pete Hegeseth was on? What's the app Pete Hegeseth was on? Thank you, Andrea. Thank you for subbing. You are an ignorant black man. Why am I an ignorant black man? Even Joe Biden said that too. That's why I said it, because Joe Biden. Signal. That's right. Signal. Pete Hegeseth was on Signal. Signal is like a third-party messaging app where your messages disappear, right? So you got Signal and you got Discord. Have you guys noticed that a lot of bad stuff is going on Signal and Discord? You know, people promote Signal and Discord. You know, I have this channel. We got a lot of members. I've thought about creating a Discord for us, but I don't want to get in trouble. Like, I want to have a discussion with the members and the moderators. Y'all let me know if y'all want me to create a Discord. But I'd be like, you know, I'm an old guy, and I'm like, I keep hearing a lot of negative stuff about Discord, and I don't want to be in the dark web. I don't want to be associated with no dark stuff on the web. So that's why I'm old, you know, so I'm not really like quick to go start a Discord, because I hear all this stuff. Like, why do you need this dark place to go have a discussion? All right, what are y'all going to talk about? You know, secret societies, you know, it's like we try to get these apps are trying to get us back to secret societies, right? And these people be on Discord talking about crimes. And it's like secret societies all over. And then minds are changed and people are manipulated, and this hypnosis takes effect. I think these things are created. Remember, we talked about the hypnosis. Kamala Harris said, I should have told Joe Biden not to run, but I was hypnotized. We all were. I was hypnotized. We all were hypnotized. So I don't know about this Discord stuff. But right, Ozzy said, I don't even know how to use Discord, right? So we might not have one over here. We might be too old, and that might be a good thing. Secrets don't make friends, right? That might be a good thing that we don't have a Discord, because I don't need any secrets with you guys. We could discuss it here. We're going to have our members only live streams where we can have an open panel. You can come on and talk, but I haven't found the benefit of Discord. You guys let me know. Maybe you can educate me and let me know. So let's talk about the Discord messages and Candace Owens criticizing the Discord. I just took a little tangent. I'm sorry. Double tap, hit the like button. Thank you for the 100 likes. Double tap, hit the like button. So like, share, and subscribe. Candace Owens and other conspiracy angles, the Discord messages. Owens criticized federal handling of Robinson's Discord messages, Discord text, confessing the plot and instructing his partner not to cooperate. On September 13th, after Discord denied the platform was used for planning, per TMZ, Owens tweeted, Discord has come out to tell us that the feds are lying about Charlie Kirk. Feds are lying. Candace Owens reacts. On September 16th, she questioned the indictment's timestamps on Robinson Twig messages, saying they are not showing timestamps for a reason. There is a lot wrong with this conversation, she claimed, An exclusive from Twig's family, teasing more on her live show. So let's take a look at some of the video from Candace Owens, because I don't know if everybody got to see it. Let's take a video.
They're telling me.
Okay. We're going to take a look at Candace Owens. And I don't know if everybody got to see. I know people be working. We don't be watching everything. That's why I did this show. And I wanted to go through those facts because I know I learned a lot yesterday. I didn't know he was 22. I didn't know he grew up in a conservative household. I didn't know he grew up because we had a lot of questions about could he make the shot. Well, Tyler grew up in a conservative household. He had a gun like at 12 years old. His family actually gave him that Mauser rifle, which is a very unique rifle. In the Discord messages, he talks about the uniqueness of this rifle, how it had got fitted with $1,000 sight. He had a special rifle that was fitted with $1,000 that he had. It was just part of his collection. His family his father was a police officer, right? Christian conservative police officer. He had, NRA his whole life. So yeah, boomer. And another thing I learned from Candace Owens is he lived with his roommate who was a man who was transitioning to a woman, but where they lived, the parents owned that house. So they were paying rent. It's like he lived in the basement, right? It's this guy, Tyler, kind of lived in the basement because where he lived with his significant other, his parents owned that property and he paid rent to his parents. Just for further background, I didn't know a lot of these things, so I wanted to share these details with my audience I think it's part of the healing process. So I'm sharing this as part of the healing process, and we're counter narrative here. So I want to stay counter narrative and preside the truth the same way Charlie Kirk did. So let's take a look at Candace Owens and we'll come back.
I'm being contacted by a lot of people that are telling me that just within 48 hours before Charlie passed away, his top Jewish donors were pulling funding from him, demanding that Charlie take their name off of the building that they had donated to Turning Point. I guess I can figure out who that is, how many people could have donated the building. And then once Charlie was killed, they said, never mind, put it back on the building.
Wow.
Charlie himself had alluded to a tremendous loss of money coming in, and we'll speak about that more. More people are going to come out with information. This is all inevitable, okay? And I'll also point you in this direction. You guys remember Bibi recently had a PR blitz, despite the fact that he was fighting this 96,000 front war because Israel didn't do nothing, okay? He was doing a ton of podcasts in America. He went on to Patrick David's podcast. He went on to Brandon Tatum's podcast. He went on to the Nelk Boys podcast. Anybody find it weird he didn't do Charlie Kirk's show?
Yes.
Homie very quickly told us that Charlie was penning love letters to him in May. I just love you so much. It's amazing. They were so close. The boys just hits him up like, hey, I know we're fighting this 97,000 front war because we're always the victims, but do you want to just come and maybe stay at my place for the weekend here in Israel? Like, that's the vibe that Bibi was rushing to present to the media. So why didn't you do Charlie Kirk's show? I'll leave it as a question for you guys. Common sense, okay? I don't like small lies. And remember, Bibi started this. I am responding to his shamelessness, shameless misrepresentation of what Charlie was going through and what Charlie was saying. Because, and I want to be clear, to me right now, it feels, and I'm using a corporate term here, a bit like a hostile takeover, okay? Charlie builds the company organically on the basis of Charlie and Charlie's honest ideas. Suddenly, that company's got a lot of money, and Charlie's honest ideas are starting to change or maybe add more color. And now he's getting financial threats. He's being called names. He increasingly, he's being told who and what he's allowed to speak to, and he's taking a stance. He's taking a stand privately up to these people, and then it doesn't matter anymore because Charlie's dead, and those very same people who were pressing him are now doing, like, very quickly trying to set in stone that, Charlie, essentially, the energy is Charlie died for Israel. He's just one of us. Nobody ask any more questions. That is literally untrue, and we're not going to allow it.
No way. No, we're not.
It's just not true.
It's not true. Thank you, Candace. Thank you, Candace. It's not true. We're not going to allow it. I want to get to the text messages. I read some stuff about the text messages. Let's go to the text message.
Messages are clearly doctored.
Let's look at these messages. Tell me what you think. Candace Owens is arguing that the messages are doctored. Now, earlier I was taking credit. You see those 3 dots? Those are the ellipses I talked about that were alluded to in the podcast. And this is the ellipses that I talk about on my podcast. So it says, Robinson, delete this exchange. My dad wants photos of the rifle. He says, Grandpa wants to know who has what that feels like released a photo of the rifle and it's very unique. He's calling me right now, not answering. Since Trump got in office, my dad has been pretty discard MAGA. Since my dad has been pretty discard MAGA. See, it don't make like they, I'm going to turn myself in willingly. Oh, okay. I'm going to turn myself in willingly. One of my neighbors here is a deputy sheriff. You are all I worry about, love. I'm much more worried about you. This is Robinson. Don't talk to the media. Please don't take any of my interviews or make any comments. If any police ask you questions, ask for a lawyer and stay silent. This is Robinson, the suspect's tweets.
Yeah, these messages are clearly doctored, is what I would say. They're doctored. Now, they could decide why they're doing that. Tyler's being forthcoming. We're protecting him in some capacity. I find that to be unacceptable. Okay? Unacceptable. I want every single text message. I want timestamps. It is conspicuous that you are not telling us when this was sent, because it sounds like it's when the campus is on lockdown and he's got to go back and he's got to clean up. And then all of a sudden we're in the next day when his dad is getting clued in after the picture's been released. They're not telling us that. Okay? And you have a right to be a little bit uncomfortable about that, because I'm a lot of bit uncomfortable about that. We need full answers. Yeah, these messages are clear.
So this is what we presenting today. This is what we're presenting today. There's still more to the story. There's still more to the story. More information is going to come out. More information will come out, and we're going to continue the conversation. I want to thank you guys, everybody. Ozzy Kazi, who is this heavy duty, not only that with the trade deal, but I think, okay, you guys are having a discussion in the chat. I want to thank everybody, man, for the 100. Double tap. Everybody watching. It's 250 people, 215 people watching. We need 215 likes. Double tap. Hit the super chat. Hit the like, subscribe. Somebody put my Cash App in the chat. $ Big D Rants. The Outside Sports just quotes of the man. What's up with the Outsider Sports? Johnny 5. Hey, Johnny 5, I've been seeing you going in. Johnny 5, you're going to have to become a member so you can get lit up in the chat. I've been seeing you going in the chat. You're not getting the respect you deserve. Heavy duty, same to you. You're not getting the respect you deserve. You're not a member, man. You got to become a member so I can see what you're talking about. Hit the super chat and your voice is lit up. When you become a member, you get lit up in the chat. Everybody can see it and hear what you're saying and interact with you on a higher level. Become a member. $2 holla summertime special, man. While it's 90 degrees, going to be another 100 degrees today. It was 101 yesterday. Johnny 5 said they need to ban TikTok entirely in America. Y'all having a good conversation in the chat, man. Y'all having a good conversation in the chat. Wilfredo always hating. Wilfredo must don't want to enjoy the podcast. Like, it's the best podcast, the best chat. Wilfredo always coming with some hate and some trolling. And all you did was just get yourself out of fun. You could have fun, Wilfredo. You could disagree. Just comment and be respectful. Respect the moderators. Respect the rules of the chat, man. What's wrong with that, brother? I want you to be here. I want you to disagree. Be mindful and respectful. Look at what happened to Charlie Kirk, man. Some people, man. All right, you guys. God bless the chat. God bless America. God bless Trump. God bless Charlie Kirk. Rest his soul. God bless his wife, Erica, his family, his children. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for subscribing, hitting the like button. Tomorrow, 11 a.m. Felicity F-Bomb, LOL, right? Goddess to the light. Have a good day. God bless. Thank you so much, man. Tomorrow, 11 a.m. Heavy duty. First time here. I subscribe. I'll be back. I'm not even sure if I know how to do that. Thanks for doing what you're doing. Thank you. A lot of my audience skews older. That's why I talk about the 3 ellipses in the top right-hand corner. Hit those 3 ellipses. Heavy duty, hit the 3 ellipses in the top right-hand corner, especially if you're watching on a cell phone, because it's going to give you a whole bunch of choices. It's going to let you subscribe. It's going to let you like. It's going to let you do a lot of things. 3 dots in the top right-hand corner. Those 3 little dots. And I know I got my glasses on. You might not see, because I couldn't see 1911. I said 911. Donnie said hi. How you doing, Donnie? The Outsider Sports. But the issue that all life should be valued. I agree, man. I agree. All life should be valued. I agree. It's not even a question, right? I don't even think that's a question, right? I think if you really unpack Black Lives Matter was divisive. What did they say? We're trained Marxists. Black Lives Matter wasn't created to bring people together, and that statement, Black Lives Matter, had nothing to do with all life having value, all human life having value and worth, and should not be snuffed out like that. It was Marxist divisive propaganda. You understand me? The left, socialist left, Jasmine Crockett got in a plane and left the state and went to other states to stop democracy. At the beginning of this podcast, I said there's a concerted effort to dumb you down so you don't understand when they are removing democracy from you. He said all life matters. Let me read it again. I don't want to take you a quote. But the issue is that all life should be valued. Yes, sir. And it shouldn't be a discussion, but Black Lives Matter create that division and put this on the table to where it has to be said, something that should not never have to be said. That is why you have to, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm counter narrative, because I understand the propaganda, the political theater, and how they use Marxist, socialist, leftist strategies, tactics. The meaning wasn't decisive, the perception was. The meaning wasn't divisive. I think you want to say divisive, the perception was. The meaning that Black Lives Matter is divisive is an incomplete statement purposely. Is not the perception. It was perceived away by design. These things are created in a think tank. So it's incomplete. It's an incomplete thought so that you can complete it in your head so that you come up with do you understand what I'm saying? It wasn't by accident. How it looks like NWA, how it has that 3 lines like Run DMC, Black Lives Matter. The whole thing was marketing. The whole thing was marketing, and it was an incomplete thought on purpose to drive perception. If you understand how these things are created. The other day, I talked about No Diddy. I talked about No Diddy and how No Diddy was created. And then influencers were paid to use the term to make it part of the lexicon. I saw it happen as a content creator. I saw people delete the word pause and interject no Diddy. And I saw it happen. I'm saying, this is not organic. Do people understand how propaganda works in this whole machine that's being turned against Sean Diddy Combs? This is not organic. The no Diddy on Twitter and social media is not organic. People didn't even notice. It just took over. All of a sudden, Charlie Kirk, who was God first, Jesus first, has become race first. And there is a concerted effort to make Charlie Kirk race first. Turning Point has a mission statement. Turning Point has a mission statement. It got nothing to do with race. It is political. And what you have happening on social media is the powers at be trying to capture the steam of this assassination and turn it on its head for political value by making Charlie Kirk something that he's not, by trying to change his legacy postpartum. And we're not going to let it happen. We're not going to let it happen. We're not going to let it happen. I was never BLM, but I understood, look at the grievance for many, but so many are dismissed and therefore BLM in my perception. So the goal was, if you really understand propaganda and politics, the people who created it, because look at how the outcome was. The leaders bought $5 million homes outside of the black neighborhood. They never cared. It was all a lie. So the goal really was a distraction, to never have a real conversation by creating division. If you got to hear what I'm saying. I understand you smart, you want to be right, but you're not hearing what I'm saying. You don't understand the goal of why it was created. When you talk about this necessity and need that existed, right, and that got amplified by the George Floyd murder, there were people who wanted to turn it down and not solve the problem. I say that people benefit from the murder in these cities like Detroit, Chicago, and DC. So they didn't want to stop the crime. BLM made the crime go up. You got to understand what happened. BLM was never created to help us get to a resolution. They told you we're trained Marxists. They wanted to disrupt. They never wanted a resolution. BLM never wanted a resolution. They didn't get a resolution in crime in inner cities like DC and Chicago. Now we got Trump with National Guard. Doesn't it piss you off that Trump and the National Guard exist after BLM? BLM didn't fix anything. We got a black mayor in DC for 10 years, didn't fix anything. None of it. Race doesn't do it. Race is not it. Charlie Kirk didn't get murdered over race. It's not racial. But yes, there is this need, right? There is this need that people understand and subscribe to. The individual, and that need got exacerbated after George Floyd. For a lot of time, that need is ignored, right? I understand when you talk about and you say what you say about those individuals, right? So there is that need. It got exacerbated. No one could ignore it anymore after George Floyd because it got put on camera. Because a lot of people ignore that existed. That level of evilness and hatred existed, right? And it provided the need that you discussed. Well, some people did not want to fix the problem. They create BLM, and then the problem remains. Or some like me argue it got worse. BLM was created as a division to stop us from solving that need. And it never got solved. Today, we're having this talk and issue with Charlie Kirk because we're still traumatized. We're still traumatized. BLM in that time period wasn't about BLM or a movement. It was about that need. It was about that pain and addressing the trauma and that pain that the George Floyd murder uncovered. It took off a scab. Everybody said racism is gone, but that George Floyd murder uncovered something. That George Floyd murder uncovered something. That George Floyd murder uncovers, and it hasn't been healed. We're seeing it today. We're seeing it today where people dancing and celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. Why are people dancing and celebrating Charlie Kirk's death? Because we never healed I'm not just saying these words. I'm not just saying this. Blacks and whites together, we're traumatized. You think I'm in a mixed family like JD Vance? You know white people were traumatized by George Floyd too? All Americans. Globally, we were changed by that event. So because we never heal, people are misinterpreting the Charlie Kirk event. People are misinterpreting the Charlie Kirk event. And they are seeing it through their broken-hearted, democratic, blue, black, colored lenses. And their hypnosis won't let them see the truth. God is good. God gave me a fire close on that one, boy. Woo, I mean, that spirit was, well, you see the spirit, man, when the spirit get the work and the spirit get the work. Thank you, everybody, for watching, man. See y'all tomorrow, 11 a.m. Hit the notification bell, 11 a.m. See y'all tomorrow.